well. So I'm back in my bathroom. So you probably heard in my video before that I think that my plants might have some pests. So I just wanted, we'll come back. Okay, I think we should have silence now. The washing machine was on. So I just had to wait for that to finish. So in my previous video I was going on about plant pests. So I am back in my bathroom. I'm sorry that it's echoey, that's just what it is in here. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I do to treat my pests and do like a preventative measure of treating my pests. So let me just, because I think there's something on my lens. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to shower off the leaves. So I'm going to just turn on the shower. So let's just get to doing that. So I'm just gonna flip you guys around. Okay, so then I have my SB Invigorator. I have my spray bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure this out. So I just got to read again what it says. Where does it say it? So 10 mils to 1 litre. So this is 500 mils in there. So I'm going to do 5 mils. So this does have a measuring cup on it. I just kind of eyeball it a little bit. So and we're just going to take it. I'm going to pour it into here. Just like that. And then I'm just going to close this. We're going to give it a little shake. So as you can see, it's starting to foam up in the bottle. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go in. So you've got to do the front and the backs of the leaves. So this is a surfactant. It's got soap in it, so it should work both ways. So then I'm just going to turn this around. I'm just going to spray down the front of the leaves. Then I'm going to move that at the back. And this is our problem child over here. Hopefully you can see that. And then again, I'm just going to go all over the top, just spraying it. But we also want to get underneath. So I am going to lift every one of these up to get underneath them. Because these bugs, they live on the surface, but they also live underneath as well. So we're just going to do front and back. Okay, move that over there. I'm going to bring this guy forward and do exactly the same thing. Now this is also a little bit of a fertilizer, so I am going to go easy on the fertilizer when I come to water these guys. I'm just going to make sure that I have a diluted fertilizer because Calathea I don't think really like that much fertilizer, so we don't want to give it that much. So I'm just going to go front and back. I think I got most of them, I'm not sure. Well, let's just... Okay, and then I'm just gonna do that. Give another spray for extra measure. And then we're just gonna leave it. So I'm just gonna let it dry off, and that is literally all I'm going to do. That is literally all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to leave it in there, let it dry off. It should dry off. So you don't wash that off, you just leave it to dry. So I'm just gonna leave it in here to dry, which can take any amount of time just because I also did soak them with the shower. Now with Calathea, you probably don't want to do this because they do burn very easily, especially with hard water, and our water, oh my god, it's very hard, but unfortunately it's necessary. I needed to clean those leaves. I'm not gonna spend ages going in there with a cloth and wiping them down manually. I just can't be bothered to do that at the moment. So I am just going to leave that. Hopefully this as well should help. I know it's labelled filtered water. This is not filtered water. I should probably take that off. This should also help clean your leaves because it is like a soapy mixture. So it should also help get some of that dust and grime off of your leaves. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to be diligent, especially with the Zebrina, the Calathea Zebrina. I'm going to be doing that every week. So I normally should do this with all of my, I do this with all of my plants downstairs every week. But upstairs I'm a little bit more lax, so I don't actually do it that often, but I think what I'm going to do today is just do all of my plants. So I'm going to wait for these to dry out, I'll put them in the corner and then get some other plants going so I can do a little bit more, just because I haven't done them. I'm not sure if there are pests, but I just want to prevent that from happening because I know a lot of these pests during the winter where it's a lot drier, they tend to come out a lot more. So especially spider mites and the Calatheas, they are the Calatheas and the Alocasias are spider mite magnets. So I just don't want to be dealing with any of that this year. I just can't be asked. I want to end it on a good note and have my plants be healthy and happy. So I'm just going to get to doing the rest of them. So I know that only mainly applies to guys in the UK because I don't think you get this in America, but obviously I know there is pesticides and like natural stuff that you can use in America. So I do use neem oil, but I haven't used that in a while. The one that I have has kind of gone off, so I would need to buy it again. I wanted to try this out because I've heard a lot about it, so I'm just gonna use this up and then I'll see if, you know, how good it is and all of that kind of jazz. But this is just kind of what I do for preventative measures recently. So I am trying to move a little bit more away from using actual chemicals and pesticides. I don't normally mind, like I will still use them if I have like a really bad infestation and I haven't, you know, got on top of it, or I haven't realized, for example, like with the thrips, because I don't play with thrips. Like spider mites I'm okay with. I feel like, see, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to jinx myself, but for me, thrips are like the worst pest to have, and so I'm not playing with them. I'm gonna try and, you know, weed out those mofos as quickly as possible. So I will try and use a pesticide on those, but I am trying now just to go a little bit more chemical free, a little bit more natural. So I'm using like, you know, the good bugs to fight the bad bugs and all of that. I do need to get the mealybug good bugs, but they freak me out. They just look like giant mealybugs, and I'm like, do I want that in my house, on my plant, like on my plants? I'm not sure about that. I'm like, ooh, they just look weird. They freak me out. So I know I have to, because I can't get on top of the mealybugs because they're long, you know, they're tiny. You think you've got all of them, and then suddenly there's 50,000 more because you missed one. And that's just how they, you know, procreate. They procreate very quickly and very efficiently, and yeah, I just can't get rid of them. But I am trying to, yeah, like I said, just be a little bit more natural. So that is my method for pest treatment, or preventative pest treatment, I should say. I have used this, so like on aphids, this works really well. So I had aphids, I still have aphids on my papyrus. I've forgotten the name of it, but the plant, it is a freaking aphid attractor. I cannot get rid of them. It's like I spray and I spray and I spray and I spray. I'm getting them under control, but they are still so annoyingly everywhere. So I am using this to see if it works any better, because my pesticide that I've been using just doesn't work. And I've been squishing them manually as well. So they're not the adults though. I haven't found the adult, which is really annoying, because if you find the adults, it stops the cycle, right? And if you squish all the babies, they're gone. Cannot find it. So I am just trying to stay on top of that. I completely lost my train of thought there. So yeah, that is my preventative pest treatment that I'm going to try and keep up on. As far as I'm aware, plants cannot get, bugs cannot get resistant to this, because it's not an actual chemical that we're using, it's a surfactant. This also has like a bit of a booster, so it's got you know, a little bit of fertilizer in it to give your plants a little bit of a boost, I assume, to help fight off any stress that it may be having from the pests that are attacking it. So yeah, if you are not wanting to do that, that's fine. I feel like everyone should have a little bit of a routine that they go through. So I check my plants every time that I water them, even though, you know, the ones that I'm not watering. So for example, now it's not time to water your cactus and your succulents unless they're looking very wrinkly. So I just check them over, because again, mealybugs or spider mites or whatever bug it could be, I just make sure that all of my plants are clear. So just make sure that if you do have a lot of plants, or even if you don't have a lot of plants, that you are just checking them every time that you see them, or every time that you go to water them, just so that a problem does not arise that, you know, is out of hand and you feel very overwhelmed to deal with. Because I remember the first time I got thrips, I was overwhelmed because all of my collection had thrips, and I was just like, no! Because thrips do a lot of damage very quickly, and they can travel from plant to plant very quickly, and that's what I had the first time that I had them. So I was doing, you know, everything, because I didn't want to lose my plant collection, so I was doing a lot of treatment, a lot of stuff, until I figured out, you know, how to get rid of them permanently, which is with the good bugs. So get good bugs to eat the bad bugs, and that will help your collection. Now, it doesn't work immediately, it's not like an immediate solution with the good bugs, but it definitely does help, you know, over time to keep them at bay, especially as well. So yeah, I think that being diligent and looking over your collection as often as you can keep these problems at bay. And yeah, that is just my little advice out there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you guys soon with another one. Bye.